Another group of Minnesota Medicaid providers is under fire for fraud tonight, this time tied to services meant to help adults with disabilities. We're learning state officials have suspended payments to 28 providers. It is the third state program flagged for fraud just this month. Uba Ali has more on the latest in a series of schemes draining the state of Minnesota.
I will do everything in my power to detect and prevent fraud. Payments will be shut off immediately at the first signs of fraud.
That's Department of Human Services Inspector General James Clark in front of the House Fraud Committee last week, promising to weed out bad actors. An executive order from Governor Tim Walz gave DHS additional authority, and today they used it. WCCO obtained the letter the temporary DHS commissioner sent to lawmakers stating the inspector general has been made aware of allegations of fraud in the MA Integrated Community Supports ICS program. ICS is a Medicaid service that allows adults with disabilities to live independently in community through provider-controlled settings. Since the beginning of this month, DHS suspended payments to 28 providers for billing for services that were not provided, a common thread between the recent federal fraud investigations. No charges have been announced, but state officials say we are taking more aggressive actions to stop payments, including relying on tips and data mining that demonstrate a credible allegation of fraud. It all started with the Feeding Our Future scheme, where $250 million was stolen. Last week, 8 people were charged in separate cases in a more than $8 million fraud scheme tied to a housing program. And this week, the first person was charged in a $14 million fraud case involving autism services.
In so many of these waivered services programs, they're essentially.
State officials say a payment with
Welcome to the Real Nate Midwest podcast. You guys saw the video, the fraud and the group homes. Especially, I am so excited that this is happening. Let's get back into it. You guys are live. Welcome in today. We have a lot to talk about. This fraud and corruption needs to stop. And the problem with the fraud and corruption in the state of Minnesota is Governor Walz is like, okay, open up the books. Do I believe that Governor Walz said open up the books? I don't believe so. I do believe it was a federal investigation by Trump himself. I believe Trump said, let's go ahead and open those books up. This is a problem that I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what I don't like, okay? What I don't like is that we are sitting here defining ourselves and we're gaslighting this stuff. And while our politicians are wondering, one, how long is this fraud is going to be, but we're sitting here with the fraud investigation coming to itself. A lot of people sat here are wondering, as a disability advocate of myself, I have seen the fraud investigation this high. This is quite concerning because it needs to stop, okay? This is quite concerning for me. What I mean concerning is that this fraud is quite concerning. Group home fraud. Do I believe there's much more ICS homes that need to be investigated? Yes. I hate to say this, but somebody who lives in an ICS home, I believe that my group home needs to be investigated. Yes, I said it. My group home needs to be investigated. The stuff that they're doing is so unconstitutional. I cannot even name the stuff that they're doing is so unconstitutional. It's wrong. This whole investigation stuff needs to start. It needs to start now. I did not go on to the Minnesota legislature and move to the forward as a disability advocate to put these people in their place. It's scary. We're living in scary times right now. Very scary times. The federal government can do so much, but it's us, we the people, that need to put a stop. To stand up when we know that vulnerable adults like myself are being abused in these systems. Do I believe my group home does not care about people with disabilities. They do not. They don't. Because if they care, they would be willing to care. They don't. They don't care one bit. I know when people care. Like I said in a previous video, not all group homes are bad. But there are some people that just want to do it for the money, and that is sad. Group homes out here are the breaking point in the state of Minnesota with federal funding, but it's to the point that I don't want federal funding. I don't want federal funding for certain group homes. I don't. I want their books opened. I want them to understand that what they're doing to clients is so unconstitutional that they're treating them like crap. They don't care. But the funny thing is with these group home higher management providers and stuff, they can leave and go on vacation for a very long time. Let me repeat that again. They can leave and go on vacation for a very long time. They can leave and go on, let me repeat this, they can leave and go on vacation for a very long time. And they're running a group home. They're running a group home. I just don't know what to say. It's getting scary. Where the state of Minnesota is going, it's getting very, very scary. And I'm not going to sit here and be silent no more. I'm going to fight. As a disability advocate for the state of Minnesota, I'm going to fight. And the people that see this podcast and the people that want to try to tear me down, you cannot lock me away. I'm going to fight for these people. Because this is getting unacceptable. Unacceptable. What is going on in the state of Minnesota? Governor Walz, you need to answer to the Minnesota people. You need to answer to the disability people. And the people that are committing these fraud need to be charged and put in jail. This fraud ends now. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired waking up and there's another fraud case. We're going to be $10 billion in debt if nothing doesn't get figured out. I'm sick and tired of politicians running. And they say, oh, I'm going to run for all the people. What about the disability people? Do you know how many disability people live in the state of Minnesota? 591,000 people. But there are people who cannot have their voices to be heard. And that is why I'm on Capitol for fighting. Because I am sick and tired waking up every day knowing that there is fraud. I'm sick and tired waking up every day knowing that somebody's being taken advantage and being abused by the system. I'm sick and tired of group home higher management saying we're going to listen to the county and the county tells us what to do. The one thing I hated about the ICS home, it says they control the disability. No, you don't control disability people. You don't control what they do and what they cannot do. You support them. That is a problem. That is a problem that I'm seeing. You don't control what they cannot do. We have a constitutional right, and if you don't want to believe in the United States Constitution and the U.S. Constitution, pack your bags and leave. Leave. Go somewhere else. And I bet you nobody will let you come into a Republican state. Because if they know that you're committing fraud, they will kick you out of the curb so fast. They will kick you out of the curb so fast. Some of these group home providers do not care about our system. They don't. They do not care one bit of what is happening. Some of these group home providers will be investigated thoroughly, and I will move a vote of no confidence on the Senate floor and on the House of Representatives floor, because these places need to be investigated. There's so much fraud that's going on, and the safety of these disability people are at risk. They are at risk. They're at risk right now. The risk that we are literally seeing right now is that they're at risk, people. We're risking it. We can't sit here and risk this stuff. We can't sit here and watch these people suffer. I'm not going to let these people suffer, but the people that are in this higher management will. They laugh at us. The people at my group home, they laugh at me because I'm not that smart in their eyes. They do not care about me. They don't. Because if they really, really want to care about me, they would. They would not be laughing. They would not be like, you're not smart. Oh, if I wasn't smart, why am I doing a podcast? If I wasn't smart, why am I testifying on Congress floor? That is a question I want answered. If I wasn't smart, the person who owns the group home that I am, why am I on Congress floor? Why do I research my stuff before I bring it to the table? Because you're a selfish prick. That's who you are. You are a disgusting human being, and you dare not own another group home. If I was in office, I would shut you down right away. Our governor and the people that he has allowed in here illegally and legally, this whole fraud stuff needs to stop. Do you know we are the biggest state of fraud? Do you know that? We are the biggest state of fraud. We don't hear fraud in Florida. We don't hear fraud in Texas. We're the biggest state of fraud, and it's going to lead us in a $10 billion deficit, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't like it, the truth is out there. The truth is out there. The truth is out there. It is sickening for America. I'm getting tired. Hold on. What does it say? You know, I'm still learning how this stuff works. All right, you guys. This is private. How to make your... This is crazier. Let's see.